Hey y'all, what's poppin'? Happy hump day, happy hump day. Um, so I'm gonna talk about Married to Medicine LA, and I'm gonna do last week in combination with this week because I'm late, and that's fine because y'all really wasn't checking for it, no way. But I'm gonna still be consistent and give y'all what I got. So I have notes because I forget, my memory's horrible. So let's talk about Shanique's birthday at the ranch and how, what's the girl name? Imani's friend who nobody knew was a cast member didn't know it was rodeo versus rodeo. And I'm like, how did everybody else get the memo but you? Rodeo and rodeo, there has to have been something else on that invite, number one. Number two, when you look, in my mind, everybody looks at the address when you get an invite and you see where this is. You didn't look at it before? Just asking a question for a friend. Just saying. And then Kendra, for some reason, asked Jasmine to help her lose weight, her excess baby weight, and that's fine. But Jasmine, don't embarrass me in front of people and take my food like I'm 7. Like, who are you? Why would you do that? And then not even, like, text her on, like, I don't think you should have that cornbread, or let's talk about what we're going to eat tonight. Something along those lines. But you just went straight up and got up during a quiet moment, snatched her cornbread off her plate, and like it was a little back and forth. Are you crazy? Like, first of all, Jasmine is nobody to be asking about losing weight. Yes, she has a nice body. Yes, she is very slim, but she almost has a borderline issue disorder, I want to say. Am I too strong with the word? Because you literally take your blood sugar and you don't have that issue. You walk around with this stuff in your purse and you have like the serving scoop cups, like, and then you asking just different questions about food choices. And it's different if you have an allergy, if you have a sensitive allergy with food, because a lot of people have it nowadays. But she goes overboard. So I'm gonna move on from that because that is insane. And then, why can't I think of this girl's name? The girl who got the beauty salon, who was known as Imani's friend, but apparently is actually a cast member. Her and Jasmine get into it because she was laughing at the fact that Jasmine got up to take her cornbread, and talking about what happened to street code and street cred. Y'all both live in Beverly Hills. Are y'all crazy? And Brittany was right to say, what street cred? Like, girl, sit down. And then Kendra went on, a date with Hobart, and she was talking about, she went on an interview and she got hired basically, and she wanted to go back to work. And it's like, it's one thing if y'all never talked about this and never said, oh, I'm going to start going on interviews, and if I get offered, we'll talk about what's next or what the next steps are. He just told you last week, or however many weeks that was, that he wasn't interested in that. He wanted you to be able to stay home, and he wanted you to, take more time with the baby. And listen, I had a baby. He is now grown, okay? He 18, but to me, he's grown. But month number 2, I was like, oh, no wire hangers, back to work, please. Let me go back to work. I was trying to go out every day, trying to find somebody's house to go to visit every day. I was going crazy being in the house. Like, I get it. You want to go back to work. You want to interact with adults. You don't want any more Elmo or Sesame Street or whatever the hell else it is. So I get it. You get that baby thing going on, and some people love it. Some people could be stay-at-home moms. God bless you and your heart. I don't have that spirit, mind, and or heart. So I get it, Kendra. But at the same time, you had the conversation, and he asked you. He didn't tell you. He asked you, let's talk about it before you do it. But you went ahead and did it anyway. Like, he gonna just say yeah. But that, hey. Because y'all agreed to it. Like, y'all agreed this was going to happen. Then you just went and left and just changed. Moving on. And then Britain goes, goes on a date night with Mac, which was cute because they said they haven't had date night. And I get it because her children are smaller. First of all, they bad as hell. and I have a brother, so I know how you fight with your sibling or whatever else. But they trying to go out and y'all sit here tussling and fighting and all this nonsense. Like get dressed, get your stuff and let's go. Like what are you touching her for? Like, but different strokes for different folks. I have 1.5. My stepson is much older, so I don't have to worry. I didn't have to worry about that, but I don't think I don't see it. I don't see all that fighting and carrying on going on. And Britain with this boy in the bed situation, it's cute when they little, but when they start moving and putting their feet in your back and always got to touch you, like my son was notorious. We have a king size bed, and he just knew that middle space that was empty was for him. So he would come into bed, and he got like my husband would go to work in the morning, and he would hear him leave, and he would come into bed. That's fine. You can come into bed when Daddy leave in the morning, but every time I'm like, get off me. Like you had that whole side of the bed, a foot. How did your foot get in my back? Why do you have to like, I guess it's the kids with their mother being inside their stomach for so long. I don't know. But you ain't gonna be in my bed. And he's 9, I think he is. 9 or 10? I think he's 9. Miney. Why are you still in the bed? That boggles my mind. I will never understand that, but to each their own. And then Imani is talking to her mom, and her mom knows what she's talking about. Like her mom is like that mom. Her mom reminds me of like a mix of Iyanla / Oprah. And she was telling her, Imani's mad that he's asking her to pick up his stuff and send it to him. Like you can't come back home to pack up your stuff, say your goodbyes, and do it, like clear out stuff. I don't get that. But I'm sure there's more to this story than what Imani is exposing based on her history of not being open and not sharing a lot with the group or people because she doesn't like seeming helpless. So, okay. I mean, they're going to figure that part out. And, Imani has a problem, I think, because she wants the closure because she said, Imani's mom and her were talking and they said something along the lines of, the man you most loved first walked out on you and never returned. And now this is the same thing happening in your relationship / marriage of him packing up, saying he's going to do A and does B and doesn't come back. So Imani is feeling that, in her heart. And it's sad. It's sad because I can't imagine getting the same hurt again. And I'm sure, because I didn't know her son, Idris, I didn't know that her current husband is not his father. That is not his father. So that means a man before her husband, when he was 2, she said, left her. So this is a third man that has left her in a situation, and she has to keep this persona. And apparently her mom was saying her hair had fell out when her dad left. And I guess that's why she, cut it bald, because maybe it didn't grow back. Stress is a hell of a thing. What else? So Britain, and, tells Imani, are you going to tell the girls about, tell the girls about, your divorce? I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, she did tell them, which is fine, and that's her choice because she was ready and she wanted to tell them versus being secretive, because they've asked the questions. Oh, like, where's your husband? When is your husband coming back? Because all of the husbands except for Imani's and Jasmine have not been seen other than, well, Imani's husband has been seen on like Skype or video chat. And Jasmine didn't mind her damn business because we ain't seen your husband. We only see, if we Google Jasmine's husband, that's who we see. So don't come for her. Like, why are you coming for Imani and, whatever, always trying to be in her business? Only because she asked, was it a drug dealer's house because of how massive her rental home is? We found out online, the blogs. The people had said, I didn't say, the people said, I had heard on the street that Jasmine, that house was rented for the TV so she could make it seem like she really does something. Because truth be told, do we know what Jasmine do? That little rental house, yang, that's what you do? Like, is that your income? And your husband, we don't really know what he do. You alluded to something, but it didn't make clear sense. And it's just like, don't do that. Don't do that to Imani. But Imani was saying, when she talked to her husband about, like, when am I going to see you? And he was like, oh, I don't know, maybe 3 weeks. And then she said something along the lines of, she had asked him for their anniversary. They went out for their anniversary and they was going out, and he was like, oh, I want to watch the fight, so I'll see you back at the hotel. Basically like, peace, I'm out, we ate dinner, now I want to do what I want to do. It's like, really, on your anniversary? So it seems like they had a strained relationship, and they grew apart. So what else? Yeah, he wanted to watch the game and not be with her. So, and she said after that, she gave him a year to kind of, I guess, gave it, which means the relationship, a year to see if it was going to come back together and just be where it needed to be. And I get it. When you're married for a long period of time and work happens, kids happen, life happens, sometimes you can be just ships in the night and you're like, hey, what's up? And it's a routine, it's a pattern. And you got to try to get it back together. And maybe he wanted to, and I feel like because he is now known, or was known when the show first started, as Imani's husband, and he's doing some medical marijuana business, he wanted to seem like he was doing more, because from the conversation, it didn't seem like he was doing much when they first introduced to who he was. Because we ain't heard Portrait in a minute. It was a good group back in the day, but we ain't heard about them in a minute. So, maybe that's why. I don't know. This is a lot going on with that situation. And then, what else was that? Yeah, I think that was it for last episode. And I'm watching this episode. It's kind of dry. They're going on a girls' trip. I would love to go on a girls' trip with my good girlfriends. It's like 4 of us from high school, and we cannot get a weekend together to save our lives. So I'm hopeful after this corona that we can get together and hang out and just do random nonsense like we used to do back in the day. We're all in different places in our lives. 3 of us have grown kids and another one has younger kids, and it's a lot going on in everybody's lives, and it's just hard to navigate. So we have to get something together because life is too short, and COVID-19 has shown us that life is very short. So I'm hopeful when this is over with, travel bans are lifted, a vaccine or a medication has come about to alleviate all this madness, that we can all get together as good girlfriends. So they're on the bus, they're getting drunk, they're having a good time. Then they get to the house, and Kendra has to pump. And I'm just like, wasn't you just drinking wine on the bus? Is that mixing with the baby? But you a doctor, not me, so I don't know. And they get to the house, and they, I'm sorry, rewind, back up. Last episode, Imani wanted to show the girls her picture for her book cover. And I'm like, Imani, you have an amazing, phenomenal physique. Like, you put on that top. I'm not a dresser. My friends will tell you I'm plain as they come. Don't ask me for fashion advice. I don't have it. I put on something that matches and something that's comfortable, and I'm doing what I do best, which is, float. So I'm just asking a question for a friend. Like, they were all looking at, like, she has like some blue boat neck, ruffled shoulder. It was like, girl. And the face was the same. And it was like really light in the middle. It was like cremation nude number 2. It wasn't, Imani. And then she had the second one, which I feel like everybody liked more, where she was showing her little 6-pack of abs. It was a crop top with her good long nails. She looked really nice, and I hope she chooses that one for her book. She did tell the girls about her divorce, and she said she was hoping they would accept it. And I don't know how she really would accept it, but, how they would take it the right way and support her. I wouldn't imagine you would be willing to open your mouth and tell people your personal business, as personal as that, and you are worried about how they take it and what they can say about it after. So I would hope as a doctor that your mind is sharp enough to say, or to think the pros and cons before opening your mouth, because I wouldn't even, certain people, who to say what to, is what I will say. Whether you want criticism or you don't, or you can preface it by saying, I just want to tell everybody about what's going on with me. Me and my husband are getting divorced. I don't want to talk about it, but I wanted to let you all know. So I hope, that is, I hope that, they did receive it right, because they was all like, what? Like, oh, Jasmine especially. Girl, stop. Just stop. Anyway, so they're on this girls trip, and they're choosing the rooms. And I don't even know, like, if I was to do a girls trip and we rented a house, I would just make sure that there's 5 bedrooms, or 1 bedroom for each person. I don't, like, why we gotta choose rooms? What are we, 7? Like, is it that serious? A room with a bed. What else do you need? I didn't understand that part, but I mean, okay. Then they had a chef, a black chef, cowboy chef, and Jasmine's like, oh, is this dark meat? Is it white meat? Girl, sit down. Like, stop it. And I think that's it. And then they're at the table, and Britain is like, yeah, they were talking about husbands, and she was saying that she chooses her kids each time because her kids make her feel needed and her husband doesn't. And then Imani was like, yeah, before that, Imani was like, yeah, when we got married, he told me he would grow to love me. Excuse me? Who says that? Like, I want to get married to you. Here's the ring. We get married. I'm going to grow to love you. At no point, you don't say I love you during this whole course of the courtship and the courting and the dates. And is it me? Like, how do you grow to love somebody and marry them before the fact? I thought you grow to love somebody during the courtship period and then before I'm just asking a question. But whatever. They in Palm Springs, and Shanique and Jasmine just seem like clueless. Like the girls from Clueless. And Jasmine is just saying, you can't feel that way. Like, I don't know. I think that's why, maybe Britain has her husband in her bed, because she feels like he loves her more, the boy. I don't know. It's just weird all the way around. But this is a snooze fest. I'm not really talking too much about it because it's a snooze fest. But they're doing sex toys now, and it's fun. It's all in good fun. So a nice little girls trip. And I'm glad that they're all laughing and there's no fighting and carrying on like most of the shows that we know. Real Housewives of Atlanta. Just saying, because y'all stay getting until y'all have a good moment and then it goes left and fight breaks out. So, but that was all I got for these 2 episodes. So I will chat with y'all later.